All right, let's get started. Can we have the presentations there? So this is a question for all of you. And all of you are mostly creators. If you stop creating today, how many of you would see an increase in your income? How many of you would see a decrease in your income? How many would have their income stay exactly the same? So how many of you would see an increase? Show of hands. If you stop creating today, how many of you would see an increase in your income after 6 months? All right, how many would see a decrease? How many would see a decrease? All right, so we're about 40, 50%. How many would say it'll be more or less the same in 6 months? Or are the remaining? Rest are, I assume, figuring shit out, but that's perfectly fine. That's where we are. What I want to do is, for all those who feel that their income will decrease or stay the same at best over the next 6 months, and the 6-month period is the shortest possible time span that you can have to extrapolate what your future is, the conversation is for you. And I'll be as methodical on it as possible. So a little bit about me. I am a PhD dropout. I went to the US to do a PhD in no shit astrophysics, but decided that's not what I wanted to do. Came back to India, then did an MBA, then was a management consultant. And there's a reason why I'm sharing all of this with you. Then I became an entrepreneur in 2009 in India. This was a time when it was not cool to become an entrepreneur. In fact, people didn't know how to pronounce the word entrepreneur. People didn't know what it was. The only reason why you became an entrepreneur was because you didn't get a job out of college. I then started Groupon India in 2011, which was a US company, and I started the Groupon India business in 2015. I started Nearbuy.com, which was the last startup that I was running. And then I quit that in 2019. I stepped down as the CEO of my own startup, decided to take a 3-month break, figuring out what I wanted to do. And in those 3 months, COVID 2020 happened, and everything went for a toss. I started actively creating content in Jan of 2020, right before COVID happened, and I'd been creating content for nearly 10 plus years at that point of time. So for most of you who may think that, oh, Ankur's blown up on the scene in the last 4 years or so, you're right, but I've been at it for nearly 16 plus years now. I then started WebVeda.com, which is my current startup, in October 2020. And the reason I share all of this with you, and I'm asking for an apology in advance, there will be a lot of me and there'll be a lot of I in my conversation, because that's the way I want to present the story and land the idea on you. I have built this business structure for a reason, and I'll be extremely transparent with this business structure with all of you. For those who follow my content, you most likely have seen this already because I share my numbers publicly. I'm happy to do so. I see there's a reason behind that. But the business structure is that I run this company called WebVeda Private Limited. It's the holding co. The clicker is working on its own for some reason. And now it's not reacting to me. Oh, this screen is different from this screen. Oh, wow. There are 2 screens. Which one should I look at? I'll look at this screen. No, wait. All right. And both the screens are different. All right, so I'll look at this now. Follow this screen. I was following these screens. Never mind. This is the name of the company. That's the legal entity. It has 3 divisions, much like how NAS.io is also structured in May. So there is something called Brand Warikoo. Brand Warikoo is everything that you see in content and community. So everything that has a public profile to it, everything that you see on social media, that comes under Brand Warikoo. Sorry for the narcissism there. There is WebVeda, and that's the name of the startup. This is where 80% of my attention is. This is where I rely on my future, building for it, and this is going to be the center of what our conversation will be today. And then there is investing, which is a very important part and perhaps not something that you consider as actively, but I'll implore you to. And here are the different income streams for how the legal entity is set up. So under Brand Warikoo, there are ads, which is what you can turn on YouTube, and as Nasser mentioned, Instagram does a piss poor job of that, and there are several other platforms. There is affiliate income. You'll be sharing your links, so on and so forth, getting a share of the revenue. There are talks and appearances. I love speaking on stage. Surprisingly, corporates are willing to pay a lot of money for that. So I share my experiences with employees, with students as well. Book royalty. I've written several books. I'll speak about that as well. And then finally, brand collaborations and endorsements, which is what a lot of you will be aspiring to get to, if not already. That's the Brand Warikoo income stream. On the WebVeda income stream, all that we do is course design and delivery. So I run an online school, which is titled WebVeda.com. It has about 420,000 paid students. We're growing at about 10 to 15,000 students per month. And these are all courses that I believe school and college should have taught, but never did. So these are mass market affordable courses, fully recorded. They are priced between $399 to $2,500 at best. I don't think we'll ever sell a course more than $3,000. It's at least 10x value of what you've paid. That's the commitment we have. And we are so bullish on that we have a 100% refund policy, irrespective of when you come and ask for that money. And it's amazing the reasons people share when they ask for a refund. To something as frivolous as, I need the money. And I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm happy for you. Good you asked, because some other person would have given some random ass reason of why, or the module 3 video was buffering and some shit, but you were just honest and we're happy to pay you back. And here is the business scale. This is what you need to appreciate or at least be inspired by. And here are all the income streams on the left-hand side. I'll show you how the revenue has progressed from 2020 when I started to 2023, which is the last year. This is all Jan to December. All these are revenue numbers. So we don't make any money on ads. That's just a conscious call. Call me stupid or whatever it is. We don't have monetization turned on YouTube. And we won't go into reason why. If we did turn it on, we could be making anywhere between 1 to 2 crores a year, perhaps even more at our scale right now, but it's a conscious call not to. Then there is affiliate income. We made, all of these are, by the way, INR crores. You said you don't know what crore is, but that's fine. Think of it as billions of dollars. Affiliate income, we make anywhere between 50 to 60 lakh rupees. The proudest thing for me is 100% of this income is spent on the education of kids who can't afford it themselves. So this was a call that we took. Thank you. Shameless insert, specifically for this, there are a lot of Amazon links on our profiles. If you're buying anything on Amazon ever, please click on those profiles, those links, because we'll get that affiliate income. Someone will get their education sponsored. You'll get it at the exact same price that you would have bought otherwise. So it's amazing that I get DMs from people saying, hey, I was looking for a shoe. Can you share an Amazon affiliate link for that? Because I know that you do spend this. All of this money, 100%, nothing is protected. All of this is spent towards the education of kids. Talks and appearances, we make anywhere between 2 to 3 crores. It's a wild amount of money, but at this scale, it does become real. I am very conscious of where I spend my time because that's frankly the only asset I have. So I'll be very, very guarded of where I want to be, who do I want to speak to, and so on. Like, this is absolutely the best place for me to be spending my time. And if you don't agree, at the end of the day, you all will, 100%. And that's where we are. Book royalty is a completely massive game. We earn anywhere between 1 to 3 crores a year. I release a book every year. That's the content plan. It's not like my book, Nobel Prize winner, shit is done, I'm retiring. It's just like my YouTube video. The only difference is the cadence of it. It's once a year as against once a week and so on. Collabs and endorsements, which is where a lot of you would perhaps want to make that money and so, was a very conscious call. We wanted to front load that in the early years because I wanted to bankroll my actual startup, which was WebVeda, and do it to a point where I know that I'm working with brands that I'm proud of, that I would happily use and I'm personally using, which is why I want to endorse them in the first place. But at some point of time, I want to stop endorsing brands. And I want my content to be 100% clear and so on. So we kind of peaked in 2022 where we made about 10.5 crores. We're right now at about 4 crores. This year we'll do about 4 to 5 crores or so. That's like the stable state. And this is where I happily work with brands that I'm as it is using. So I'd be more than happy to talk about them and so on. And then there is WebVeda, where we're right now reaching about 14 crores. This year we'll do about 16 or 18 crores. Total of that, as you see, in 2020, we did about 1.5 crores. We closed last year at about 24 crores. There was a blip, but I couldn't care less. And we will continue this trajectory. The best thing is it's immensely profitable. We're at 30% profit. We're making money from day one. There was never any idea of doing it any other way. And the reason why I went into all of this humble brag is because it is important to recognize that all of this happened because I was an entrepreneur first, and then I became a content creator. I've been running startups, businesses for 16 years. So when people very lovingly ask me, hey, what was hard running a startup or this content creation journey? I'm like, bro, you have no fucking idea how easy this shit is. Like if you had to run a startup and raise money and build a business model and find a product market fit and manage teams of 400, 500 people and blah, 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 this is a joke. Like me sitting down in front of my camera, recording Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and so on, it's genuinely the easiest thing that I could do in my sleep because I'm good at it, I get it, I've been doing it for several years. But I'm blessed with the fact that I had the business mindset before I came into this, which is what some of you, if not a lot of you, would perhaps not have. For no fault of yours, you just started a little late and so on. So content is not the end. It's actually the start, or it's a means to an end. Don't think or call yourself a content creator. That's disrespect to what you ought to eventually do. You're not a content creator. That's like calling yourself a breather. You're not a breather. You breathe every day to live. You create content every day because that's something that you come and do really well and it's intuitive to you, but it's a means to a final end. Whatever your bigger purpose is, whatever is it that you wish to solve for, content will get you there. And use content as a trust engine, not as a sales engine. Don't create content to sell shit to people. Create content to garner their trust, because in this country, particularly in this country where we are a trust-efficient culture, if you garner trust of people, they will begin to trust you with everything. So I don't know if you've noticed, but none of my content ever speaks about WebVeda. That's a completely separate funnel, largely driven by ads, and I'm sorry for the frequency of those. But all of that is an independent engine. It doesn't even run from the same channel. My content is completely free. Never behind a paywall and only meant to add value because I want people to trust me when they see this dude doing it for several years. So very quickly, what's the model that I want to share with all of you? It's called the RRR model. It's not a spin on the movie by any measure. I haven't even seen it. Number one, define your role. Very important. As a content creator, you have 3 roles that you could play. You could either be a teacher, or you could be a friend, or you could be an entertainer. And don't mix those roles. I am a teacher. What does a teacher do? They have a set curriculum, and they teach students, and at some point of time, the students have learned what they have to, and then they graduate. So when people come to me and say, hey, your content is getting repetitive, get some new shit, dude. I'm like, no, bro, I am teaching a curriculum. You have learned everything that I had to learn. Please move on to a new teacher, and I will welcome a new student into my class. That's my role. That's what I'm going to do. It's like the same school and class teacher that you had was teaching the same thing while you kept progressing. You could be a friend. Ranveer Alabadia, great example. As he has matured over the years, his content has also matured, and you're growing with him. That's why you see such a marked difference in what it was earlier and now it is. Or you could be an entertainer. Tanmay is a great example. He's just entertaining. Elon Musk is a great example. He's just entertaining. He doesn't mean any business. He's not telling anything that materially impacts Tesla or SpaceX or whatnot. Occasionally he does, but he thinks he does. It's just entertainment, but it's very important for you to define this role. Second, define your reps. For those who work out, you know what reps are. Repetitions, they matter far more than the weight you're trying to lift. Your repetitions matter. What are the repetitions? What is it that you're going to repeat? I'm going to share what I repeat on a daily basis. This is all that we do. 1 blog, 1 Instagram reel, 1 YouTube shorts, 2 LinkedIn posts, 2 Twitter posts, 1 short podcast, 1 WhatsApp post. Every single day, none of it in real time. I'm standing here spending time with you. All of this shit is going live, organized 2 weeks planned in advance. I'm a very process-driven person. Everything is a clinical factory in our case. We're not running a creative hot shop. This is a content factory.
We're not doing the Red Awards now.
Or you have no idea what's behind the scenes, so you're just clapping because you have to. Every week, there are 2 YouTube videos going out, there's a newsletter going out, there's a Twitter thread going out, there's a long podcast going out. Every month, there are live sessions for my courses. Every quarter, there's a new course. Every year, there's a new book. That's our repetition. And come rain, come sunshine, come flood, come drought, this will happen. Nothing will stop that. That is the commitment you'll have to make by defining your reps. What gets you to this reps? How is it going to happen? 1, making it least effort. Tanya spoke about it. In fact, almost every creator will speak about this. You have to be authentic because that's the least effort then you have to deploy. If you become somebody else to create that content, you'll be miserable and it will take all of your energy to even do that every single day. So you have to be authentic. You have to make it most efficient. Use technology. The biggest line item in our business is software. I spend 8 to 10 lakh rupees a month on software, and I'd happily do that as against spending it on people trying to hire interns and whatnot while I have a brilliant team. But software is far more important. And then, of course, making it independent of you. I'm here. I could not be there for the next 6 months. I know everything will still work because I have an incredible team behind me that I absolutely adore and love. And I don't know if anyone is here, the Vibhuti, if you're here, I love you. I see some familiar faces. And finally, defining your return. This is the biggest thing that all of you miss. As I said, content is not the end. It's a means to the end. You have to, when you start generating this income, define how is it that you're going to deploy it. It's stupid if you're buying bags and shoes and cars and watches from it. Of course, spend a little bit of time. That's called personal finance. Like, share, and subscribe my channel. But if you're spending all of your money in just playing a status game, that's the dumbest shit that you can do. If you're 20, you're still forgiven. If you're doing that in your 30s, you're genuinely just dumb. Please figure this game out. All of this is towards deploying this to get a certain return. Spend it on things that matter to you. Build your own startup, your own business, your own line, your own merchandise, your own agency, your what is it that this capital gets deployed to? You make money from someplace, you deploy it someplace else. That's how businesses work. Businesses are never stuck in just one business domain, which is content creation, hoping that bland collaborations never run out. They will run out. AI is going to take the big Jesus out of you, and you wouldn't even know what happened. All of us, that includes me and Nasir as well, all of us have a shelf life that we are up against. It's a matter of time. Don't bank on this as a career. This is a means to an end. This will be your end at some point of time. And this is where the biggest message is. Get active with your income. Don't think that you have one income stream and that's all that there is to it. Get active with it. And then get passive AF with your investment. Just invest and forget about it. We are sitting in the golden period of this country. Even if you were to be the lamest person who knows nothing about investing, you would still get a very reasonable CAGR or a return that most people would be envious of outside of this country. At a 26%, not out of whack, your money is doubling, not doubling actually, it's going 10x in 10 years and 100x in 20 years. I'm sitting right now on a corpus of 21 crores. That means if I deploy, that's not to be applauded by the way, if I deploy that money in the assurance that I have, I'd be sitting on 2,000 crores in 20 years from now, when I'll be 64. 2,000 crores. That's generational wealth that will take care of every goddamn thing that I have to plan for as a responsible individual. That's what you owe to yourself. That's how you have to do it. Final. Somebody in here, of course you don't remember shit of what I said, so here's a QR code that gives you access to this presentation. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. Ankur, this was amazing. Sorry, I had to come on stage. I don't normally do this, but the last 15 minutes, I feel like I got a masterclass for life.
Thank you.
How to live life. Did you enjoy that? Our first time working with Ankur at NAS Summit, and I'm so grateful that you did this.
So happy to be here.
I don't normally do this and come on stage, but I have one question for you. What makes you different from the average person? Why did you make it work? What is one trait in you that made you succeed? Because the process you showed us, the financial process, the creative process, the business process, if everybody follows it, they will succeed. But most people will not follow it. What makes you different?
If I'll give you an honest answer to say, it is the fact that I know that I have enough already. I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to impress anyone. I don't have to win an award. I don't have to genuinely play any status game. I'm exactly the same person as you meet me here, as you meet me in a mall, as you meet me at a YouTube video. It's just the fact that my life is already so complete and full that I am happy to just give, and see what comes out of it, and I'm always surprised what comes out of it.
Wow. Wow, amazing. And one last question. First of all, thank you for the transparency. I've never seen such a transparent income. I aspire to be as transparent as Ankur. I'm not quite there yet, but one day I promise you I will do the same chart.
I would love that. I would be the one in the front row rooting for you.
My question to you is, has 1 crore, which is millions of dollars apparently, has 1 crore of profit, how has that changed you? How has so much money and success changed you?
It genuinely hasn't. I think the only material change that has happened is that we're traveling a lot more as a family than we used to in the past. Because now, fun fact, last year we traveled 118 days of the year.
What?
118
You
days.
don't work.
And this is for leisure. Exactly. This is for leisure. This is not for business travel. This is not accounting for a day like this. 118 years of just holiday with nothing. Work, no. And everything is happening in there. I just love my life.
You're going to space.
I am. Mars is on my agenda if Elon Musk does the good job of it, yeah.
Thank you, my friend. That
Thank
was
you, man.
amazing.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.